Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from Urban Digs, and it is Monday, so you're going to get your Brooklyn weekly market update. Johnny, let's get right to it. I'm looking at supply. Looks like it's lingering, 2,813. Show me that chart.
Yeah, it's down a few percent from the week before, but I mean, you look at this chart of Brooklyn supply. I mean, it really never spiked up to begin with. So seeing it sort of flatline here in the summer is really not a surprise.
Yeah, and I'm sure buyers are not happy with that, especially with the market seemingly in some type of shift right here. You would think that supply number would be pressured up, but that is not the case. We'll talk more about that later. Johnny, let's pivot to Brooklyn demand. Pending sales, 3,236. Show me that chart.
Yeah, so that's actually down about 7% from the week before. And I think that probably has more to do with Acris just closing a bunch of sales than anything meaningful. But we've seen a bit of a slowdown in Brooklyn. I think we're seeing some of that here in the chart. You can see for the first time in the last few weeks that we've been behind the year ago line of 2021. So at this point last year, pending sales was on the rise. Right now, we're sort of on the fall.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't help but think about these macro changes. We've been talking about these rates are rising, this hawkish Fed, this inflationary bear market. I mean, I think people are starting to see it with what the stock market's doing right now. They're starting to catch on. This is different. This time is different. We got to keep an eye on what's going on right here. The thesis is the same. Buyers, you need to be all hands on deck. I think that discount window of opportunity that you're looking for may be lying ahead. Let's switch and pivot to the weeklies right now, Johnny. I'm looking at supply 1 week, Brooklyn, 222 things. That looks like it's down. Show me that chart.
It's down by 20%. And you know what we've seen in these weekly new actives recently, it's been very choppy movement. It's been, low 200s, high 200s. So it's really been moving all over the place. There's not a lot of consistency here, but you want to abstract away. It's still less on the new active side than we saw in 2021, which, if you're a buyer, that actually is a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Let's go to demand, see what's going on there. Contract signed. That looks like it's ticking up 187. It still doesn't seem high, though. Show me that chart.
Yeah, it is a little bit higher than last week, roughly 18%. But again, we're seeing some choppy action on the weeks here. So, there was a nice consistency, in the spring. Here in the summer, it's been, 210, 150, 180. So it's really jumping up and down. Again, it's below the 2021 line. So we're not doing as well in Brooklyn as we were last year. But still, these numbers on a weekly level for Brooklyn are pretty good. I mean, close to 200 is still a very, very liquid market.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a seller's market, right? It's still a seller's market. It seems like it's fading right now. If there is a shift going on right now, we all know it's going to take us 2, 3, 4 months to see what that shift is in terms of price action. But in terms of liquidity, there's still some liquidity there. In terms of supply, not a lot. You put the two pieces of the puzzle together, it's still kind of in favor of sellers, Right. Let's shift now to the chart du jour, John, and this kind of explains why buyers are not feeling it right now. That even though the macro has changed, when you look at Brooklyn net new listings, we only had 1 month right here. This was giving us hope, I guess, for Brooklyn, but it did not last long, Johnny.
Right. I mean, so the June bar, I guess we may want to highlight that a slightly different shade because it's still early, right? We're sort of in mid-June here. That could fluctuate. Obviously, we've been seeing some very choppy changes, but yeah, you're right. I mean, just the sheer amount of red here, I think really explains what buyers have been feeling in Brooklyn. And, so far in June, that's still the case.
Yeah. And I mean, you got a rental market that's going crazy. You got a sales market that's kind of somewhat resetting, shifting, correcting slightly from its little peak blow off top in Q1. We still don't know how deep that's going to be. This market is nothing here is telling me that there's a violent correction going on. Okay. And I want to repeat to all of our viewers that these markets did not participate in the parabolic run that a lot of other housing markets have done. So at the end of the day, sorry about that. At the end of the day, you got to think about where you came from. So I don't see any bubbles here. I don't see any bursting of bubbles. So if I'm a buyer right now, you're expecting a 15%, 20% discount, something along those lines. We didn't get that during COVID. You're not going to get that now, John.
Right. And so, at the bottom, you can see we've broken this out. You'll see this if you want to download these charts from the UrbanDigs dashboard. You get the townhouse, under $1 million, over $1 million. And Noah, what you're saying is exactly right. So even though Brooklyn is slowing down, I mean, look what we just talked about at the weekly new levels, right? That the weekly actives are down, supply is down. So even though contract signs slowing, the fact that actives are not where they were even last year really still means it's a hard place for buyers, even if the market's slowing a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to find those unique negotiability cases here and there. is what you're going to find. And that's exactly what happened during COVID as well. Johnny, this
Right.
is all very, very helpful to see. We're going to continue to churn out these charts as if this market shift, we're going to be all over it for you. John Walkup, thank you for pulling all that data together. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We are both from UrbanDigs. If you guys got questions, we got answers. Please visit our forum, especially now when we need to all discuss this together, what's going on. And if you guys want to download any of the reports that Johnny put together, it'll be right over here in just a few minutes. Other than that, this has been your Brooklyn Weekly Market Update, and we'll catch you next time.